Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day. We're taking a look here at EOS. It's been a little while since I covered this here, so I'm excited to go ahead and check it out and kind of see what's going to happen here next. I love coins like this that actually kind of take off and do well, contrary to Bitcoin struggling, right? So it's a very, very good sign in most cases to be able to see this. So we'll take a look at that. Also, if you are new to the channel, keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Love to teach people to trade. You can register to become part of something greater. We have an amazing community, signals, as well as actually training videos that I have to allow for you to become a better trader. Also got a CC Golden Indicator as well that we rolled out with. I can show you on the charts here what that pertains to. But what we can do here today is kind of look at some larger data, help understand roughly where this could go next, and just kind of help you understand for your investments. Keep in mind, EOS has done very, very well for itself in the past. It is absolutely at the point right now where it's it's not at an all-time low, but it hit its all-time low at like about 82 cents. And that's over the course of, quite a few years, because this coin's been around for some time. But I would say that it definitely looks like it wants to come back on track here. It looks like we're back online. So we'll look at that and much more. And obviously kind of help you understand, some benefits too. Furthermore, one last thing, just kind of touch on this, highlight this so you understand. When it comes to our partners, we do have some amazing benefits. Make sure you register here. BitGet has tremendous community trading bonus competitions. We have those almost monthly. And Bybit right now, they're offering a nice airdrop if you were to register with the link down below. So be sure to check that out. So when it comes to EOS, fairly straightforward and simple here. We're working within Fibonacci retracement levels, you can see fairly well, whereas the price action right now is getting rejected this 236 level, which is at $1.25. Now, if we look at its history, we can kind of see that $1.25, that range is somewhat of an area of support here back in 2022, roughly almost a year ago. Okay, about 11 months ago, we see a nice support there. You can see a bit of a resistance, and then of course rejection. So this is kind of a price point that's a point of contention. Okay, so closing above that level I think would be really important to acknowledge that we might be on the right side of tracks at that point. But good news is here, we've retested this level 3 or 4 times in the last couple of weeks, and there's a good chance it could consolidate there to become the new support. Okay, so a lot of times previous resistance levels become new support levels. That's generally what we want to look at. All right, so let's take a look at the larger time frames here as far as daily is concerned. We can see that the RSI is bouncing off 50, so we're still trending bullishly. Had it dropped down below this level here at 0.5 to $1.15, we would have got rejected there and stayed below, but now we're trending above, and that's a very positive sign. We can also see more money is flowing into it as well with the money flow index, so ultimately, volume is supporting, okay? So you got to have volume in addition to a price action continuing in whichever direction it's going, okay? That being said, we have a significant little bit more of convergence on the MACD here today. So mostly positive stuff there. Curious where the moving averages are. They're all below the price action, which is fantastic. Anytime you're above the 200 and the 50, it's typically considered to be fairly bullish. And you can see it was rejected quite a lot here for a while. Tried to get above there and came back down below. So generally speaking, being above this level here is really important. Okay? The 200 to me on the daily is a very strong indication that you're on the right side of tracks. Doesn't mean it can't pull back. It just implies that it'll have some support there if it does. All right, 4 hour. See, we're rejecting here off of 70 on the RSI. We also have a very large inflow of money, essentially. Basically, the money flow index is telling us that, hey, we've got a high amount of volume in here, which is very good. That's allowing us to push through this resistance level, but it could also signify that we might get rejected there soon based on that being overextended. We do have a convergence on the MACD as well in the 4 hours, so this is still mostly bullish. The thing I'd like to see is the RSI coming up over 70. So if we can break above 70 here with this push, we'd be in good shape there. Because the money flow index, it's not a problem for that to be overextended. It's when the RSI gets rejected either below or above 70. And if we can break above 70, great things can happen. Because if you look at its history, anytime it's broken above 70, this is what happens, okay? So we got these nice, strong peaks, essentially, that happen when you have a break above 70, because the price will maintain itself above that level. So I'm a firm believer in, the relative strength index being a very positive, sign of strength. And right now we can kind of see that's showing on all time frames. The thing we got to recognize, though, is we are at least 9 hours, if not more, into this continuation. Okay, so when you have a 9 on TD sequential, specifically on the hourly or more so 4 hour, because we didn't look at the 4 hour, but we're at we're basically four candlesticks in, right? We're only halfway through that continuation potential. When we have a 9 on TD sequential, it's common for the price to come back and retrace to at least acknowledge that previous resistance level. We've already touched on the fact that this area at 124, 125 is a resistance zone. So if the price kind of hangs out here for a little while, it makes sense for it to leg up there because it's consolidating at that area. Okay, a lot of times you'll see pennant patterns form as well that look kind of like this, where the price action works itself into a wedge and goes up. We're hoping for something like that, but you got to recognize this is overextended in the smaller time frames, and a slight pullback / correction would make sense. I'm not saying it's going to pull back to like 120, but I would think that it would make sense to pull back to the most recent high, which is 123 to 124. Okay, that's a common theme there. Okay, so last thing we want to kind of look at here is just say CC Golden and kind of get an indication of where we're at here. So this is what CC Golden does for you. If you just say you get in hypothetically with a green, it's supposed to indicate confirmational entries targets. In other words, these are 2 entry targets here potential for this continuation here, and this would be a potential selling point. Okay, so hypothetically, just say you take an entry there, you would have netted yourself somewhere in the range of about 2%. Same thing follows suit here as well. We've got multiple entries on the way down. These are all confirmational signs. And of course, a sell signal there just above, probably likely close to another 2%, right? So hypothetically about 2% there. Same thing as well here. We can see a green indication here telling us to go long. So at this point, if you got in right there, which a lot of my community members typically do, they're looking at about 4.5% to this current point. So I would recommend selling soon, even though we don't have a sell signal just yet. I'm speculating that we're going to see some overextension here along the ways. And you can see those previously here, but we're not technically overextended on the 15-minute. What this is a very good sign, because what this tells us is that we have a healthy continuation pattern. Those are the kind of continuations I like to look for. So in essence here, this still has a lot more room to run based on the 15-minute time frame, telling us that we're fairly good to go in a lot of different ways. Okay, so again, a lot of awesome stuff there. Be sure to check that out, of course, if you're interested in that indicator. It does kind of just do the work for you. You can set notifications, and it just kind of notifies you as soon as you should get in and or get out. It's a very, very helpful tool. But either way, that's available, of course, to my current community members at discount. Otherwise, it's absolutely there as well, even if you're not part of the community. So be sure to check that out. And once again, ensure that you reference our partners here, because again, these trading competitions are frequent. It's really easy money, for lack of better terms, just for registering with the link. And more important too, you get some sign-up bonuses for each one of these. And if you're in the US, there's no VPN required here for XC Global. So that's very helpful for a lot of my US members. Okay. All right. That's pretty much all we have here so far. I think we're looking very positive here in the sense of the fact that EOS is looking good. We want to be able to break above the 124, 125 mark. We can stay and close above 125. I think we'll be in good shape to continue further, but it would need to be followed by a consolidation period or effort at that level. Okay. Again, those are things I like to look for. I'm more of a confirmational trader. I don't go with like hype and sentiment. I think emotion doesn't belong in trading, so it's important for you to try to take that out of the equation. I teach that in my trading academy. Those are all available as well to members, but it's quite simple in a lot of ways. Sound body, sound mind leads to much better trading. Okay, so future reference too. On my Twitter, I do send out daily Bitcoin updates, which is important because those are relevant to a lot of altcoins. Of course, coins like this I'll also share as well. But the more important thing that I think is good to acknowledge is just the simple fact that we're in a crazy market right now. A lot of alts are behaving uniquely. So try to be careful when trading altcoins right now, because it's not a secure. I have a lot more insecurities right now based on the market, just because Bitcoin has a slight correction and everything just goes south, right? Most altcoins are just knee-jerk reactions right now. So just be careful as a trader. Just recommend that. And obviously, again, you want to be part of something greater. I look forward to working with you. CryptoCash.tech. Thanks so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you. Have a great rest of your day.